We're going to talk to them next week with Iran. We may sign an agreement. I don't know. To me, I don't think it's that necessary. I mean, they had a war, they fought. Now they're going back to their world. I don't care if I have an agreement or not. Iran will not have nuclear. Well, we blew it up. It's blown up.
After Trump announced that talks with Iran will resume coming week, Iran's Foreign Minister Sayed Abbas Araghchi on Thursday said that no arrangement or commitment had been made to resume nuclear negotiations with the United States. Now, this comes amid heightened tensions following attacks by Israel and the United States on Iranian territory. In an interview with state broadcaster, the foreign minister of Iran said the possibility of restarting talks was under consideration but would depend on whether Tehran's national interests were protected. He said, and I quote, "Our decisions will be based solely on Iran interests. If our interests require a return to negotiations, we will consider it. But at this stage, no agreement or promise has been made and no talks have taken place." This is directly contradicting Trump's statement. However, he acknowledged that the US strikes left extensive and serious damage. Earlier, Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Khamenei, speaking after the ceasefire, declared that the Islamic Republic had delivered a hard slap to the face of America. He went on to claim that Iran had achieved victory over what he called the American regime. For a little bit of recap, the conflict began on June 13 when Israel launched airstrikes on multiple targets across Iran, including military and nuclear facilities, killing several senior commanders, nuclear scientists, and civilians. The attacks came just days before Iran and the United States were expected to resume indirect nuclear negotiations in Oman on June 15. Trump has long opposed Iran's pursuit of nuclear weapons as well, and in alignment with that stance, he backed Israel in launching strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities. After the ceasefire was eventually announced, here is a brief of Trump administration on Iran strikes.
Without any classified information whatsoever, I think it's safe to say that we have struck a major blow alongside our friends in Israel against Iran's nuclear program that is going to make America safer, our friends in the region safer, and protect the world from the risk of an Iranian nuclear weapon for years. Some Democrats, some in the media seem to have such a case of Trump derangement syndrome that they're rooting for the survival of Iran's nuclear program versus celebrating the success of our pilots and their crews. But I think the answers they got in there should be totally satisfactory. Well, first off, as I said, I think we've caused catastrophic damage to Iran's nuclear program. That's not to say they might not try to reconstitute it at some time, but for those of you around 10 years ago during the debate over Barack Obama's nuclear weapons program, we often use the phrase vast nuclear infrastructure because it does take a vast infrastructure. And I know everyone's very focused on what happened at a couple of these underground bunkers or what happened with canisters of uranium. But if you look at the whole span of what happened over 12 days, the targeting of Iran's nuclear scientists, the underground bunkers, the centrifuges, the centrifuge manufacturing sites, the gas to metal conversion sites, that's why we're confident, since all of those are single points of failure in an effort to get a nuclear weapon, that we have had an extraordinary success.
You got a chance to set back the nuclear ambitions of a religious Nazi by years and you don't take it. That's how World War II starts. World War III starts. Learn from World War II. You appease religious Nazis, you're going to get more religious Nazi behavior. So I think it's absurd that any member of Senate would say, you got a right to say it, that this wasn't necessary. You're not going to get religious Nazis to give up their nuclear ambitions by talking to them. You have to weaken them. You have to put them on their knees.